Over 8 years of struggling with anxiety, I finally found out that it's not a flaw, it's my secret superpower. And in this video I will show you exactly how to set meaningful goals and find your purpose, and how to use your anxiety to your advantage to achieve them 10 times faster. And this is a secret method that I've been using for 1.5 years to create videos daily, come up with unique and interesting ideas, and become an entrepreneur at the age of 18 by working 8 to 12 hours a day and having a bunch of fun. And I promise you that by the end of this video, you can achieve the same thing. And before we dive into it, I quickly want to tell you that you can. Like, I'm not any different to you. A lot of people view me on a pedestal, but I think that is wrong. Just because I'm creating content, just because I'm, talking in front of the camera. Like, you can literally copy this process and do the same thing as me. And you can change. You have to believe in yourself. That's the first step. And quickly close your eyes and imagine you succeeding. Like, imagine you have like a meaningful purpose and you have anxiety, but you know how to use it to your advantage to achieve your goals 10 times faster. And really imagine you like achieving your goals, right? Like, you have this big mansion that you want to have. You're there together with a beautiful girl, and you have a nice body, and you're working on something meaningful that is actually fulfilling. That is what's possible with what I'm about to show you. And as a kid, I was always obsessed with video games. Like, the only thing that I could ever think about were video games. When I woke up in the morning, I thought about video games. I walked to school and I tried to pay attention to the teacher in class, but I just couldn't because my mind was distracted just thinking about video games. I tried to get home as quickly as possible. I ran upstairs and I turned on my PlayStation and I was playing video games for 8 hours a day. I was so obsessed with leveling up my character, ranking up in the leaderboards, playing in a professional team and talking to my teammates and mastering my builds and leveling up all of these different skills. But in real life, I was a loser and I never leveled up in real life. But after some time, the enjoyment slowly faded away and my anxiety started to creep in, because in real life I was this fat loser with no friends, no girlfriend, completely ugly, never got invited to parties. I was kind of like the weird kid in class. But in this video game, I was like the hero. I was playing in professional esports teams and I was always like in the top 100 leaderboards because I was doing it all day long. Of course I got good at it. And just after 6 years, I finally understood why I was so obsessed with video games in the first place, and I completely flipped the switch around. And now I'm a hero in real life, and I'm shit at video games. We are goal-driven by nature, needing goals to survive and evolve. Humans can plan and think abstractly, unlike the most animals that focus on immediate needs. Passion and hard work produce dopamine, and dopamine over time creates a growth mindset. Hard work is the best way to quiet the mind. It helps us shift our attention to the present moment, either through dopamine, noradrenaline release, or by reducing the cognitive load. And that's exactly why I was so obsessed with video games. Like, just like the feeling of evolving, of leveling up and getting like the little dopamine hit of ranking up the leaderboards. That is like why these video games are addicted in the first place. And now imagine you have a goal in real life and you're working and you feel the same like stimulation as you would have by playing video games. Like, we are hardwired to evolve. Like, think about it. We as humanity just evolved by improving, by learning, by coming up with unique and interesting ideas, by having passion, purpose, curiosity, meaning. Like, it's a few thousand years ago we used to beat each other up with clubs, and now you can literally view this on your screen. Isn't that crazy to you? Like, if we don't evolve, we die. As a species, but also as an individual. Because the species is starting with an individual, with you. And yet most people don't have a clear goal, or they don't have a goal at all and they're just walking around in circles, mindlessly consuming but never creating. And I was stuck in that cycle for a very long amount of time, and my life just got worse and worse and worse. Bad habit after bad habit, addiction after addiction. But eventually I broke free. And one of the first steps that I did to break free and to find meaning and purpose in my life was a framework that I'm about to show you now. Lack of clear goals leads to directionlessness and anxiety, promoting chaos and stagnation. Inactivity worsens anxiety. The mind sees potential threats. The brain is always trying to predict what's next and how much energy will be used. And I believe one of the biggest reasons why everyone is feeling like anxious, depressed, kind of lost, is the simple fact of not having a meaningful goal. Right? Like, if you don't create a meaningful goal, if you don't think about yourself, you will be assigned a goal. You go to school, you go to university, you get a 9 to 5 and then you die. Like, if you love your 9 to 5, if you love what you're doing, completely fine, but most people lack this meaning in life. And then the only meaning they can find is by diving into porn, video games, television, and distracting themselves instead of facing reality and actually changing. But we can change that. You can change. You're watching this video, you want to change. So we are about to set like meaningful goals. So let's get right into it. Write down 25 curiosities. Curiosity is your basic interest in something. It triggers the release of adrenaline, and dopamine, which makes you feel engaged and eager to explore. Look at your search history, the people you follow, and the books you read. And then find the overlap of 4 or more curiosities to find your passion. Passion builds on curiosity, boosting the production of these neurochemicals even further and making you even more engaged and excited. Adding purpose means connecting your passion to a larger cause, which introduces oxytocin in the mix and enhances focus, productivity, and resilience. Shift your attention from helping yourself to helping others and find a meaningful problem that you have solved or want to solve in your life. Your purpose is a big mission, the massive movement that will take up most of your time and energy. Once you have a purpose, set clear goals in form of a to-do list and a daily schedule of small steps that bring you closer to achieving your purpose. Choose goals that are challenging yet achievable to maintain motivation and avoid burnout. And with these elements in place, life feels exciting and meaningful, and the alignment of drivers helps make challenging goals seem more achievable. I want to quickly show you that I actually went through this process. I was reading the book The Art of Impossible, which is where I got this framework from, and it was by far the best framework that I've ever done to discover my purpose. I just listed all of my curiosities, like destroying anxiety, spirituality, philosophy, psychology, making money, music, clothes, gym, kickboxing, productivity, mindset, mental health. And then I was looking at the content that I'm creating, like my meaningful work, which is about anxiety, spirituality, money, psychology. Those are my passions. And I basically looked at my curiosities, turned them into passion, and then I was thinking about, okay, with these passion in place, with these 4 curiosities in place, what can I do to help humanity? That is then your purpose. And then I was thinking about it. No one is talking about anxiety for students and mental health for students, especially men. Like, no one is talking about that. Like, you might see like a video here and there of like this one YouTuber, but no one is really like diving deep into it and read like 30 books on anxiety and stuff like that, like I am, because I'm so obsessed with this problem, because I have 8 years of experience and pain with anxiety. And then you just break down this big purpose that you want to achieve. So for me, that's like creating a massive movement, growing my YouTube channel into actionable small steps that you can take each day. I just have my to-do list. I have my day structured from 4 a.m. to 20 p.m. And most of it is just like creating videos, scripting, learning, going to the gym, all of that. But each day when I check out the habits, I get like this little dopamine boost. The same thing as like killing an enemy inside of a video game that is making me so excited to wake up the next day and just get better. And I know it was a good day when I wake up and when I go to bed and I can think, yeah, I got one single step closer to my goal. That's all there is. And if you need more help with finding a purpose or finding a mission, or you're kind of lonely and you're kind of lost in life, you can click on the first link in the description to join my community, Cautious Movement, where you get coachings, courses, like-minded individuals, calls. You can talk to me directly, everything that you desire. Now let's dive into the next step. So now that we've found your curiosity, your passion, your purpose, and you broke it down into goals, we need to apply my concept of cautious thinking so you can get to the goal, to the purpose 10 times faster. And anxiety is viewed as this very negative thing in the modern day world, which I totally understand, because psychology 101 is that we run away from pain and want to increase pleasure. But I tried to run away from my anxiety for years, but instead I turned the switch around and I'm using it now to my advantage. Negative emotions are the strongest form of energy. Energy can't be destroyed, only converted. You can channel this energy into your work like a magnifying glass. Focus puts you into a flow state where you feel the most present, productive, and fulfilled. This gives you a lot of leverage, so the difference between inputs and outputs. Overthinking gives you new ideas, different perspectives, and unique solutions. Use your awareness to pick up tiny details and analyze your problems and become obsessed. Leverage your insecurities and perfectionism to work more, harder, and better. And the only reason why you're watching this video is because I went through this process and I applied everything that I just told you. Right? I was like kind of feeling bad, kind of anxious, and I was like, okay, I have so much energy, I have to put this energy somewhere. Like, you know that when you're anxious, you have so much energy, like the blood is getting pumped into your muscles and you kind of have to move, you have to do something. And either I put it into my work, or I go on a walk, or I go to the gym. So I'm channeling this negative energy into something productive. And then when it comes to creating my videos, I just become obsessed and like super focused on making it as good as possible. And because I am constantly overthinking, I find like new ideas and new things that I can add and pull truths from all angles, which we'll talk about in the next step. And because I'm constantly like insecure and have this sense of that I have to do everything perfect, I'm constantly improving and evolving, because you have to understand that perfectionism is only created by imperfect action. And that brings us to the next step. How do you come up with unique and interesting ideas to achieve your goals faster, but also have a bunch of fun and actually create something of your own? You know, like kind of like leveling up the skill tree in a video game. You're leveling up like your creativity so you can create your own path. And I believe that's very nice. And I was looking at a study and I found out that creative people make 30% more money, 13% more money, and are also 34% happier than non-creators. So the first step to being creators is to just consume knowledge, because it's a very simple framework, right? You get information, you mix information with the old information that you have in your head, and then you create something new. You need to kind of collect data points and pull truths from all angles to create something new and unique. Every new idea is just a mashup or a remix of one or more previous ideas. You can only build a new house with old bricks. Surround yourself with books and objects that you love. Tape things up on the wall and create your own world. But there's one problem. You have so much information out there and most of it is completely dogshit. That's why I hate watching like general self-improvement advice. The information is so like watered and so filtered through the minds of other people that it's lacking like the foundation. So I prefer to read books and like really dive deep into topics and start at the core fundamentals, because that's where you learn the most, and then you can create your own philosophy instead of adopting the philosophy of someone else. So here's the step-by-step process. Read 5 books on the topic you want to learn. Take notes on everything that makes you curious and excited and what would benefit you right now or in the future. Look at other resources outside of the original field, connect dots, reflect, and look for conflicting answers. And this video is just a mix of 33 books that I read in the last months. And I didn't just read about like creativity or purpose or anything. I looked into natural selection. I read the book The Ape That Discovered the Universe. I also looked into like creativity, so the book Show Your Work and also Steal Like an Artist. And I also looked into spirituality, reality transurfing and the art of impossible, and psychology, brain chemistry, and I pulled truths from all angles and created this. Hopefully it's a masterpiece. And I tracked all of the hours that I read in the last few months, and it came down to a total of 107 hours. And by reading the book, The Art of Impossible, I found out that for every 5 hours that you read, you gain 15 years of knowledge. So I just did some simple math. 107 divided by 5 multiplied by 15 is 336 years of knowledge. And I'm 18 years old. That is absolutely crazy. I absorbed 336 years of knowledge in the past 4 months. If you're not convinced by the power of reading by now, then I don't know. But now that you know how to learn and how to break down ideas and get interesting insights, how do you actually use it to create something new? Creativity is the production of novel ideas that have value. The brain gets information, it combines it with older information and uses the results to create something new. First of all, you have to see the big picture. Second, non-time and no time. Third, know your start and ending. 4, consume new information daily. And 5, write on problems, step away and come back. Now if you want to be creative, the best thing that you can do is to not try to be creative. Go out into nature, let your mind think, clear your mind and look into the distance, because when you're looking into the distance, your mind starts to expand as well, which is a crazy fact. Now, you want to create in the morning, you want to have no time and non-time. When you're creating, when you're in the flow state, when you're like really passionate about your work, you want to be alone. You don't want to have any distractions, and the best time is just in the morning because everyone else is asleep. And on top of that, you get this little dopamine boost of, you know, knowing that you are working while other people are sleeping, which is kind of weird, but it feels very good. And the next thing is that you should know your start and ending, because a blank page is too blank. Whenever I open this document where I write the script, I instantly start by writing the end and the start. Because a blank page is too blank. I don't have an idea, I don't have anything. So I come up with the idea and the packaging, the start and the ending, and then I fill that with information as you hearing me speak right now. And you also want to consume new information daily that is tied to your curiosities. Then you get this little dopamine hit, and you also want to look at things outside of the field that you're currently studying. Like I said, I looked into spirituality, psychology, biology, so natural selection, and creativity all at once, so I can create this video. And then you will find out that a lot of ideas are connected and you kind of understand the world and yourself a lot better, instead of just like looking into one direction. And then after you like consumed all of this information and you started writing the end and you started writing the start, you want to just step away from the problem. Because what happens then is that you pass the idea from your conscious mind, so your thinking mind, to your unconscious mind, which is like the part of your brain that you don't have access to. And the conscious mind is very limited because it's thinking logically, rationally, it's blinded by emotions, and you want to just step away from the problem. Let the problem or the idea pass down into your unconscious mind, and then let the unconscious mind come back up with an idea that you can then use. Now, this might sound very complicated. It's just like you start something, you take a break, you do something that is not overstimulating, but a little bit stimulating, like going to the gym, taking a cold shower, going on a walk, riding the bike, something like that, maybe reading, and then you just come back to the thing. Like, did you ever take a shower and you just got like this amazing idea that popped into your head? That is exactly what I'm talking about. So don't stare at your screen all day, don't like look at the book all day long, step away, let your mind think, and try to connect all of the dots. Now, with everything that I just said in this video, if you want to make a bunch of progress, achieve your goals way faster, talk to like-minded individuals, and get 7 courses and coachings 5 times a week from me, click on the first link in the description right now to put your progress on the fast lane. Also make sure to subscribe so we can create a massive movement of guys who want to improve their mindset, productivity, and mental health, just like me and you. Thanks for watching, and please take action.